My name is Drew. Now, I started my journey here at Aulani about 9 years ago, and was born in California, but I actually grew up here on this island of Oahu ever since the age of 5. But I started my journey here around 9 years ago, and it's been honored to share the Hawaiian culture and Disney itself with you guys. But before we go on with our tour, I would like to present this and open up with a phrase that goes, A ohe pau, ka ike I ka halau ho'okahi. Okay, your turn.
Hello.
Let's break it down, all right? Ho'opili mai and say A ohe
Okay.
pau,
Oh.
ka ike
Ike.
I ka halau
Ika halal.
ho'okahi.
Oh, okay.
Put it all together, we got A ohe pau, ka ike I ka halau ho'okahi.
And that means,
I expect anyone to know it, off the back. It took me about a whole month to get those lines down to a T, but it means all knowledge is not contained in a single scoop. So everything I get to share with you guys I'm actually still learning the Hawaiian culture as I join you on this tour itself, okay? I'm going to talk about certain stuff that really hits home to me. All right, so come on over. And welcome to our Maka Ala. Maka means eyes in Hawaiian, and Ala means be aware of your surroundings. There's a lot of hidden gems here that's in this Maka Ala, our lobby area, that you actually come across and you think, oh, I've seen that, but I really don't know it, or like, oh, that's something cool. What is it about, right? And my first question is, what is one thing that captured everyone's eyes once they walk into this lobby?
The mural.
The mural. Anything else that catches it?
Structure of the hallway.
The structure of the hallway. Perfect. We'll capitalize that. Anything that you think? Some people say like the view, like the one thing that they capture. Like
one elevator has the little
the Menehune statues. All right, perfect. We'll talk about all those things. All right, but we're going to start off with the mural. Now, the mural was actually painted back in 2011. By Martin Charlotte. It's actually about 200 square linear feet going across, right? And it's in the form of a lei, kind of like this one, right? So the lei is actually in form of a hello, goodbye, and love, because it's made from the heart and it's everlasting, and that's why it's in the form of a circle. But Martin Charlotte painted this mural here, and the reason why he painted it in the form of a lei, he feels that every time when someone walks into this lobby, they're being laid Hawaii's past, Hawaii's future, and present. A lot of people doesn't know that the mural is actually split into two halves, including the resort as well, right? So we have that handprint to that handprint, and everything on this side of the resort, you'll know that it's on the masculine and male side, right? And then this side of the resort captures the female and the feminine, right? Even down towards our compass rose here, you'll notice that the arrows here, they all look similar, but a little different, right? So we have this arrow facing out to the ocean, and it's full of coral. You see the ocean side of this mural. Then we have that wood arrow there's facing out to the mountain side, where we get all the woods. Now these two here, they kind of look almost identical, but if you actually touch it, you'll know that that's more rougher for the male side of things, and this arrow is more smooth for the female side, right? Even our rocks and waters on the outside as well. You'll notice that the waters and the rocks is calm and smooth for the female, and then that side, the waters are more rockier or more wavier for the male side. As we get closer towards the center, you'll notice these 4 leaves here, and that is our staple breadfruit known as kalo. Kalo is a staple breadfruit, and the root of it, they would actually use the root of that staple breadfruit for medicine purposes back in the day. Have you guys been to a luau before? Yeah? What kind of dishes did you guys enjoy or partake?
Chicken dishes. Chicken dishes.
Chicken dishes. Poi. All right. So poi was actually made from the staple breadfruit here too as well. Did they get a chance to actually show you how to create it? All right. So just using that, your palm and the stone and water, a little bit of water to create that little mesh applesauce kind of texture, right? And it's very, very bland. So a lot of folks, the locals, would like to eat it with kind of sugar, or if you have a spiciness, you can add some hot sauce, or even just mix it up with any protein like chicken or so. And to each his own, how else you want to eat that dish there. But it was actually back in the day to pound and mix with medicine to help get the nutrients that they need back in the day. And that's why they need it. Right. Now, the center here, we call it the Evo bird. Now, the bird was actually used to help guide to their final destination. So if no stars, or you can't make out the stars, that bird is there actually kind of like their guider to help them find their way back to their final destination. Another thing that's part of the mural here, we said that we have our canoe arcs, right? So if you look here, the resort is actually in the form of a canoe, a va'a. And actually how Aulani got its name is actually through a dream. To get a specific, a Hawaiian name itself, you have to get it through a dream particularly. Of course you can name someone a Hawaiian name, but it's more meaningful when you get it through a dream and it's calling through you. And that's actually how Aulani got its name, through a dream, and it means messenger of the chief. Right? So everyone that actually comes here to Aulani, you get to enjoy all the Hawaiian culture, of course the splash of Disney as well, but you leave here with a message going to your people, right? So let's say you're going back home and someone asks you how was your stay, and you say, man, I had a great time, the food was delicious, the weather was bipolar, that guy Drew, he's amazing. So you're relaying the message to your people. So everyone that comes here to Aulani is actually takes a little piece of Aulani, that messenger of the chief, right? So you'll notice that the rooftops, even outside, I know it's kind of difficult to see at nighttime, but in the daytime you can kind of see the structure of Aulani. You can see it right in the centerpiece. It kind of has that figure of a canoe, right? Joe Rody is actually the engineers here at Aulani. So if you guys been to Walt Disney World, you may see some similarities inside of the images that we have here at Aulani, because he's part of that imagineering here too as well, so, which is kind of cool. Parts of murals here that you would know that inside of the ceilings here, you'll notice 3 layers here, and that is actually called kapa. It was created by Delaney Tahani back in 2011. And the kapa here that you see here, of course they're portraying on 2 different sides, but they both tells you what happens in the season of celebration, which we know as makahiki. So if you guys ever ate at that restaurant downstairs, it tells you everything that happens in that season. In fact, there is actually a nice little cubicle that tells you what's happening. It actually starts in November all the way to the ending of February too, as well. And what happens in makahiki is just celebrating a lot of different things that the Hawaiians would do. Like, so for the guy side, they would do fishing, hunting, a lot of games and activities as well. So that's why you'll see right in that bottom layer, we know that it's fishing nets in the ocean, so guys are known to fish. Second layer, you probably will see dogs and spears for the hunting sense. Or that spear can actually become a game, and we go by spear throwing to see how far you can throw. Yeah, and then the top, just honoring the higher ups. Right now, the ladies saw a lot of different things you may not see, but a lot of things that happens, which is family bonding. There's a lot of hula. There's a lot of kapa making, lei po'os created, or even leis, or even purification as well in the bottom layer in the ocean. And then of course the top layer still has to do with honoring the higher ups, you know? So 2 different sense, but it still tells you all that catches in that makahiki that season. Now, right here in that little section of our kapa, it's actually teaching you the organs on how to make kapa itself, and it's right over here in this corner. So, right in this section, you see the grandmother teaching the granddaughter how to make kapa here. In fact, we actually do have the tree that they will make kapa out of. If you go downstairs through the valley, you'll see a display of instruments, and then right next to it, you'll see a display of kapa on how to create it. So, and that tree is actually right next to it. We call it the mulberry paper tree. So they will take that bark and they will soak it into bowls, a couple hours, maybe a whole day, depending on what they're trying to make. So let's just say if I was to make a dress, and then if I didn't get the right length, I have to repeat the whole process by soaking it in, taking it out, using that platform and that wooden mallet to pound and stretch, right? And that's how she actually created the 3 layers of kapa that you see in the ceiling here, by pounding and stretching. And then later on, they will put designs in the kapa. Now, designs are actually very, very important to the Hawaiian culture. So if that bird is not around, which is the Eva, they will look through designs on your clothes or even throughout the island too as well. So you can see, like in the windows here, you have images. This side pertains triangles, jagged lines, so you know you're closest to the mountainside, right? That in the windows, you'll notice wavier lines or even shapes like coral rock, and you know, say it's on the ocean side of the thing. So we still honor that tradition here by separating what the Hawaiians would use to navigate through the islands, right? If that bird is not around. Even more details in the rails too as well, so you can kind of see which side is which, right? Are you guys staying on this side or this? You're on this side and you guys are on this side. So even outside on your balcony, look at the rails that you know that it's more triangle or boxier because you're on the masculine male side, and then the female side, you'll notice it's more curves.
Does that influence the art that's in the room as well? Because I noticed there's like female art inside the room.
Same thing as well. So, and it tells you right over here we have gods and goddesses. So gods here, so Ku and Kane, so you know you're on the male masculine side, and then we have the female and the goddesses on this side too as well.
Does that influence the logic of why the spa is on that side versus this side, or is that just placement?
That I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I would say
Sorry,
I would say more of a placement type of deal.
Okay.
But it could connect to it because as you can see the guys, so you see they're digging their stick into water. So maybe.
The roughness
There's also an art that it has to do with the male side, but it's on this side. But I'll talk about that one once we get to that side. And then right next to here, the kapa, we have instruments, hula implements that the hula dancer would use to tell their story. As we know, hula was used as their hand and their smiles to tell the story of things. And then here, the one with the blackbird that's sitting on that instrument is called the ipu, and that is the Hawaiian gourd. So the gourd was used for a lot of different use. We use it as lamps. As you can see, we use it as chandeliers. They actually use the whole thing as water container or Tupperware, or if not that, they use it as a drum to keep the hula dancers on time by using your palm and your fingertips to make this rhythm, right? And that's like actually the heart and soul when it comes to hula. Instead of the ukulele and guitar, of course we can dance to it, but the ipu is more to tell you the speed of it, slowing down or fast, how would they go, right? Any questions before we move on? No? All right. Now another bird that I would like to talk about before we venture out on this side is called the o'o bird. Now the o'o bird has been extinct for many years, and it's in this corner here too. You notice on this side of the mural, so the guys actually will lure the bird onto a sap on that tree. They will come from behind and pluck a few feathers from that bird, and then using the kukuina. Now the kukuina is the size of a golf ball, but as you peel the layers, oil tends to run down from the kukuina, and they will take the oil, rub it against the foot, and then let the bird go. So no harm is done towards it. It's just wanting the feathers because eventually it will grow back, right? But they will take the feathers and they will actually make kahilis, or pa'ilima kahili, right? And these are pa'ilima kahili too, in that corner, and then the bigger ones there are called kahili. So the bigger they are, or the higher it is, the higher the rank is, known as a chief. Right? And back in the day, we had a king, King Kamehameha. You can see him throughout the mural. He's dined in royal red and yellow, and they will actually have red and yellow feathers to let you know that he's chief, or you're inside of a space of a chief. Right? That's why they would normally hang or have these around. Here we have red, black, and white, and as you guessed it, I'm not the chief of Aulani. It's actually Mickey Mouse, right? He is the big chief, so we have his colors of red, black, and white underneath him. So he is the big chief, and that's how big it is. And then the smaller ones are more for our wahine, our ladies to hold, and that's why it's called pa'ilima. So lima in Hawaiian means hand, so it's easier to hold for the ladies. All right, we'll go on this side of the resort. One of my favorite art pieces.
Enjoy. Ahui.
Is this everyone's first time? Or yeah, sweet. What brings you guys out on this trip?
It's a family vacation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You my man?
Same here. Yeah,
Same?
Dad's trailing.
Oh, sweet. Love it. You guys are big Disney fanatics, or?
Oh, I am. I live about an hour away from Disneyland.
Oh, no way. You don't work there, do you?
No.
Hey. Hi, Kenji. All right. My favorite piece is this rainbow wall. And the reason why it's my favorite piece is just the story behind it. So it's in the form of a rainbow and a surfboard. Right? So surfing is really, really popular still. And surfing was actually done in Makahiki, the season of celebration as well too. So, but the story behind this rainbow wall is that they gave these colors that you see a camera to first graders and 12th graders, or through those grades, and they wanted them to capture what the Hawaiian Islands mean to them. And it was so cool that little children actually captured these moments. So it's so amazing that they did that. So that's why I love this piece here. It's like our very own children captured these. You would think it was captured from professionals, but these were captured by children. And what's cool is that it was kind of like a competition. So whoever won made it on this rainbow wall too as well.
So these were captured specifically for the Disney resort?
I'm not sure if it's specifically for here, but it was during a competition, and maybe they wanted to do something special with it, and it's cool that we have it here.
Yeah.
So now the woods that you will see, the furnitures throughout Aulani, mainly like the desktop here, honoring that tradition. Core wood is the strongest and sturdiest wood that the Hawaiians will use to create a lot of furnitures, or even their canoe, their va'a, their transportation. And we still honor that tradition here too as well by using core wood in a lot of furnitures that you will see. Amazing. Alright, and then the Menehune is someone that actually brought that up. Now we have about 200 plus statues. The reason why I say plus, because no one really knows how many we actually have. I've been 9 years and I've only known or seen about 80-ish or so. Sometimes I'll like count the same spot, so I'm like, did I count the same spot, or is this new, right? But about 200 plus, and some say that the Menehune was actually the first ones on the Hawaiian Island. They're kind of like small people, kind of like the Seven Dwarfs, and they are known to help build a lot of things. So they move like ants that really, really fast, but they're very, very helpful for them.
Santa's helpers that got tired of the North Pole.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Going to Hawaii.
All right, now a lot of people we'll just bypass these, but these statues here is actually very, very important too. So there are actually different phases of the moon, and the different phases of the moon tells you what's happening in that season of celebration, which is Makahiki, right? It's kind of difficult to see, but you gotta really actually kind of take a glance at it. All right. Now, one of the art pieces that I said that's on the female side of things, which was created by Mark Chai back in 2011, and this is the Kolua sled. So, in that season of celebration, the guys will use this to show bravery. Now, the guys are about your height. You're about 6'5". Yeah, so real tall and stocky guys, right? So, to show bravery. Now, imagine going down these mountains about 45, 50 miles per hour. Yeah, without any padding. Yeah, way to show bravery, right? But to me, I'm not sure again why it's on this side, because it's the guys normally does it, but I like to think, just using my imagination, it's on this side because it has to do with stairs. You're sliding down, going to that season of celebration. That's what I like to think, so I like to just go with that. But the same gentleman that created this art piece created that art piece as well. And again, not sure why it's on this side. Maybe it's just somewhere to place. But this is a 3 image in one. So I mentioned the family bonding in there. We have brothers or guys, a group of men holding a fishing net. Guys are known to fish. And this can be also become a game of Hawaiian checkers. So 3 image in one. And he's using cold wood as well to honor that tradition. Now, a lot of people ask, what is this symbolic? Nothing really. It's just, as you can see, it actually holds another or join another wood piece. But I think Mark Chai was so clever to put it in more of a triangle shape. If you notice, it's on this side of the resort than on this side, because we know that triangles represents the mountains and the woods and stuff. So on the mountain side.
That's all over our guest room.
Yeah?
That symbol, yeah.
Sweet. All right, our final destination, which will be the the Hale Mandu, which is the House of Birds. Have you guys stepped foot in here? Yeah, a lot of fun stuff to grab here.
Didn't even notice the birds.
But you didn't notice the birds, right? Now, House of Birds. So I spoke of 2 birds, which is the O'o and the Eva. This is how the O'o actual size look like, that small little bird. So imagine how many feathers just to make for those big kahilis or even the smaller ones. Probably that's why they went on extinct, right? But it was made from those feathers of that bird too. Now the guiding bird, which is the Eva, we have 2 of the versions. The one that looks like it has a tumor on the bottom of his neck, that's the male size there, and then the female size all the way in the corner there. So, the reason why I didn't say that bird has been extinct, because there were stories that someone may have spotted the evil bird on the Waianae side of the island. So that's why I didn't say that they are extinct. So I'm not sure if it's actually true or if it's a myth. But the evil bird, the guider thing you see. And there's other birds that are still actually roaming throughout the islands. And then there's others that have been extinct. So, but if you want to know particular birds, or if you have any questions, they actually have a guider's book, and they can help you too as well. Now I didn't capture a lot on this tour. We only had like 25 minutes or so. I wish I could talk more about things. But if you do want to learn about other things or strictly about the Hawaiian culture, there are other ways to doing that by at the Pauhana room, the community hall. It's actually, in fact, down this resort there, going down at the bottom. You can go in that room and they will give you a green iPad, which is the Menehune Adventure Trail. And on that trail actually are 4 trails that lead you to certain things. They will talk about it. Sometimes it will lights up, or you can hear things, or sometimes it will move. But it will actually talk about things that you can learn about the Hawaiian culture. Or if you want more of a personal thing like this. The Olelo room, I like to say, is the best option because all our cast members that works in that department or in the Olelo room, they all speak fluent Hawaiian, and that's the only way you can actually get that position there if you speak the Hawaiian culture. So if you want to learn how to say something specifically, or you can learn about the culture or just the language itself, your best judgment will be right down there too as well. So, but it was a pleasure taking you guys on this tour. I had fun.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
joining
Appreciate
me. Made my night because the other tours was like 1 or 0. So thank you guys for
So do
being
you not speak?